Hi everyone. I'm really glad to see everyone here. And yeah, for the start, I'm just wondering how many UX UI designers are here. It's very curious for me. Does anyone work with Figma? Please hold your arm. 2 persons, 3 persons, okay. Anyway, cool. Maybe we have your Unity developers. Okay. Oh, it's unpredictable for me, because I was expected something another. But anyway, it will be interesting for Unity developers too, because from my team, Unity developer helps me to create this pipeline of quick getting assets. And it gives me opportunity to create my unique workflow that I'm going to share with you. So, before we start about all this Figma and all this technical stuff, I'm just wondering, does anyone remember the first UX UI prototyping tool? What was before? Sketch, guys. It was Sketch. First time I discovered Sketch 10 years ago, and it was about 10 years ago. Really, it was Sketch 3.0. But anyway, it was a game changer because in that time, just imagine, Sketch came and give us artboards and give us like the simple Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V from one artboard in the same place we put the object. It's amazing because it's wow, and also it was like a symbols and responsive design, of course. So, but anyway, I switched from Sketch to Figma, and I did it for several reasons. First reason, I really don't like macOS, sorry, but it depends. It really depends. So, and the second reason, because I still think that the Figma is better. So, and just remind you that even artboards weren't available in Photoshop back then. So, for us, I would say that this shift from Sketch to Figma, it's a very important moment for us, UX UI designers, and of course, I think so, Unity developers too. Yeah, because Figma became a standard in the industry. It's real true. And it especially works for team-based cross-platform projects like game dev. Like cross-platform. So that's why we are actively using Figma in R&D, research and development department at Belka Games. So here is the plan. So for the start, we will start talking about game development. It will be like a basic description that give us the opportunity to understand the designer's role in each of these departments. Later, I will start talking about Figma and why I love Figma. Especially, I will share with you the basement feature of Figma that I really like, and I will show you some examples of how we use it. And of course, we will start talking about how to quickly transfer assets from Figma to Unity. And then I will share with you how I organize my project organization with Figma in game projects. So, maybe it will be a little bit obvious, but anyway, let's speak about game development. Just imagine your company or you decided to release a new game. So more or less you go through following steps. In the start is going to be a concept, then prototyping, then vertical slides, content production. When you a lot of put in the game, like content production. Then goes the closed beta testing, open beta testing, and release. And release, it's a very important step in development of the game, because release, like slicing, everything after release, it goes to main production. It starts in the main production. So, I would say that you will be lucky if in release phase you will have a good metrics, because it's the most important moment. If you have a good metrics, so it goes to the main production. And in main production, it is a time when your game is downloaded from stores, live ops activity already in the place, and it's when you think about how to attract new players to the game and how to keep the old audience engaged. So, but the very important moment that the main goal of the department of main production is revenue. This is one of the great example of a game in the main production. This is a Bermuda adventure, and by the way, I start my career here in Belka Games. So, let's talk about designer in main production. What should you expect? If you work as UX/UI designer in main production? In general, you will closely work in creating new features, in development of new feature, in close collaboration with game designers, and of course, you will take a part in creating and supporting live ops activities, such as, for example, skin reskins and so on. And of course, sometimes you will be opportunity to have a target UI UX improvement of the game. So, what about R&D? R&D includes, in general, R&D includes all these 7 steps that I've mentioned before. Really, it's a time when you are creating the base of your game. So, from my perspective, this is the most inspiring moment in creating the all of the game. So I would say simply, the R&D is everything before main production. So it's very important to understand that R&D department doesn't make revenue. The main goal of R&D is to create game and put game in the main production as quickly as possible. So speed is a top priority in this department. What about designer and R&D? You know, when you work in R&D as designer, the most important thing is that you work from scratch, which I personally, it's very inspiring for me that you're starting your game from the scratch. It's very cool. Of course, it's all about a high speed, and designer in R&D is like a universal soldier. Today you work as tech designer, the next day you work as artist, and the day next after this you work as 3D artist, and you never know. So sometimes it's all about unpredictability. So let's summarize about designer's role of each of these departments. In main department, it's more about stability and quality, while in R&D, it's more about freedom and speed. That's why in Belka Games, in our R&D department, we use Figma. So, as I said, right now I'm starting I will share with you some of my basement. It will be like a basement features that why I love the Figma. First one is frames. Frames helps me think about design in more technical way. Frames help me build organized, scalable UI structure more efficiently. For example, this is some of the example how you can use frames. For example, just imagine you have an outer layout and you want to change the size of specific element in outer layout. You can just choose them, put it in the frame, and do whatever you want with this object. Another base feature of Figma that I really love, it's components. It helps me update all my UI structure in one click. It's amazing. It's still amazing that you are changing size or something like this in one place, and you are getting updates in all the page of your project. It's very cool. So one trick from my side is you can add an additional property in case when you have a element with a lot of states, and it will save you time in searching the right state. Next one. And of course, this is an auto layout. So it helps me work with list of huge content, because sometimes it's make this work more comfortable and quick. It's very simple and very obvious trick, but put auto layouts inside another auto layouts, and it will give you opportunity to create a flexible multi-level structure. It's very cool. It's amazing. So on this example, it's like example of integration between these main features about frames, auto layouts, and components. So here I put in the frame auto layout system that I create using auto layouts and auto layouts, in which auto layouts I have components that have versions. So it gives me opportunity to provide all needed states from screen for game designers or anyone who like have a main approval decision. 1 second. So it's time to finally it's time to speak about how to quickly transfer assets from my perspective, from Figma to Unity. And you know, right now we are living in a very interesting time. We live, you know what is going on, right? About AI, everything. So when I start preparing my presentation, I of course asked ChatGPT what he is thinking about the most common ways to export assets from Figma to Unity. I didn't check off all of them, but yeah, the answer is here. In our pipeline, we use the Figma P. In our pipeline, in Belka Games, we use Figma P, and I will call this scenario like a script. Yeah, it's script. Few words about script. It was like suggestion from developer side of Unity. He suggests me like, hey, we have like opportunity to like I can go to the like IP and I can get from the IP the assets. So it was his suggestion, and I said, oh yeah, okay, let's try. It's interesting. Let's try. And I really liked this pipeline that gives me opportunity to organize from designer side my workflow. So let's have a look of the advantages of this approach. It's from developer side, it's very quick upload, literally one push of the button from developer side. And the interesting moment that the developer will get the organized asset in Unity in specific folders with specific names. And from my side, from designer side, I will have like a designer's workflow, organized designer's workflow in Figma. And the interesting moment that in this approach, you will get like a mirror place, like a mirror that will show you in Figma the all assets that you have already used in the game, that already exist in the game. It will be like a place when you like to check this out. Do we have this asset? Yes or no? And you will quickly answer on this question. Just go in the Figma. So right now I will discover you the main designer's action from designer in supporting of this pipeline. So 1 second. First one, you should create export page. Few words about export page. This is a place. This is going to be a place. From this page, the developer will get your assets in the Unity. Okay, and here I usually keep all assets that I need to for some general for feature or so on, for something like this. So when you create an export page in Figma, on this this page, each asset should be a component. So it helps in this approach. It helps developers to find out. For example, you create a design and you have like some components, instances from export page. It gives opportunity to developer go to export page and find out where is it, what is the name, and in which folder it should be in the Unity. And of course, in this pipeline, you should use unique names for all components, because it's like a rule. Because each component, each asset should be like should has a unique name. So don't forget, and also don't forget. I forgot to say, you don't forget to adapt assets if it needed. No, especially when you need to create. Don't forget to use a 9 slicing for like scaling resizable UI elements, and don't forget to use a low resolution for assets to save time, to save size on your devices. In this pipeline, it's very interesting moment that one frame here on this export page, it is the same folder in Unity with the same name. And each component from this page has the same name in the Unity. So it works very quickly. So that's why in my workflow, it's very great that this script needs me to organize everything by like UI type. For example, here on this page, I usually like organized by main UI types like icons, panels, arts, tooltips, and so on. And also, I organized it by feature, because usually in some specific feature in the project, we have a specific art elements that was provided for this feature. Another one rule from designer's side is when you use instances, when you are creating a new design, you should use instances from this export page. And it means that for example, in next design, you will have a situation when you no need to prepare assets because you have already used it before. So it's really cool, because you just, in this case, you just create a new page using the asset from export page, and you just provide a link of your new design, and that's it. From side of from designer sides, everything is done. And of course, the last rule from designer side, and when you get approval from final approval from someone, from the game designer or etc., don't forget to add the new component, the new assets to your export page, and that's it. In general, that's it. It's all actions from designer sides that you need to in supporting of this pipeline. So let's summarize. Script will save you time if you need like to have a quick, in small team especially, if you need to like if you want to know how to quick export assets from Figma to Unity, you could just ask your friend, maybe not friend, like developer, and he could provide you a solution like this script that give you this opportunity. And it will save you time in exporting assets. And as I said before, it's for developer, it's literally one click. He just click a button and all new assets he will get in the specific folder. So it's really great. From another side, you will save time in communication between designer and developer, you know, because we have a rules, so, and we stick with them. And for me, for us designer, it's provide a organized UX UI project in the end. Right now, I will talk to you about my project organization with this method, with this script. So, as I said before, it's an export page. It's an export page, we have already discussed it. I just remind you that on this export page, all instances from this page I used in new design. So everything is already linked. Everything, all my structure, all my new design are already linked with export page. It's cool. It's already cool. It's it's more technical approach in your work. The next page that I'm using in this workflow it's a font page. On font page, I collected all fonts that I'm using in a project. It's more like for developer side because usually they ask me, "Hey Andrey, what is the font here?" And to not answer on this question, I just create a parent component that consists of each font in my project, and when he needed to ask me, he just jumped to this page and he will find out what is the font is here, what is the style, and what is the name. Especially it's very important for name, because in Unity usually it's using names. So, and the last page, it is, I called it like UI presets. It's my favorite page because, because here, like I do whatever you want. Because, you know, you can create a new design and put components, flexible components near. But I put everything in this specific page. It helps me in creating of design. Sometimes you need some states, more complicated states of some elements, and I put here everything that I needed in creating of design. It can be everything like such of buttons, headers, tooltips, widget, buttons bar, progress bar, parts of art, and even full page. And everything I keep here. And it helps me in when I create a new page, or I mean when I create a new design, just to find what I already used in a project and reuse it. It's very helpful for me. And so, in shortly, all the pages in the project are linked to each other by instances from the export page. This gives me a full control in my UI system. Just imagine, so like all projects that I have has links, fonts, instances from, as I said, export page. And if I add a new design, and if I create a new asset, or for example, some of the artists provide me a new asset, I put it in the export page, and I have everything already organized in my project. Yeah, and for right now, I would like to share with you some of plugins that I'm using in this pipeline. The first one is like a must-have, I think. This is a 9-slicing scaling plugin. It helps me in creating a nice slice scaling component based on the selected images. It's very simple, and but it's really save timer, really, just, for example, on this button. Also, as I said before, I very often in my pipeline works with export page, and sometimes I'm very wondering where I have already used this element, like an instance. So this plugin helps me find all pages where I have already, for example, used this hard. Yeah, it's very helped me to find where I already use it. And the last one is very simple, but but yeah, it's because in general I have something like this. I have 3 technical pages, as I said: export page, font page, and UI preset page. And after this, I have collection of pages of my design. It's very important, like I'm always jumping from export page, for example, and in regular I have about 20, 30, 20 or 40 in general pages of designs. And this saver of time, for me it's very safe timer. Just back button. It's very simple, but it's very cool. So it's time to sum up. I would say that for us, game dev, UI, UX designers, Figma gives a unique opportunity to create and maintain an organized project. It adds more technical approach in our work, and I believe it makes us faster and stronger. And that's it. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Feel free.
Do we have any questions?
I have 2 questions. Yep. First of all, can you recommend some of plugins or utility for Figma to export in Unity pop-up screens? For example, I create totally pop-up screens and export it straight ahead to Unity.
Okay, try use a plugin Figma to Unity.
That's all.
Yeah.
Is it work properly? Do you test it?
I tried once, but then it was like a game changer when the developer came to me and said, let's try the script API. And I chose this approach because it's more dynamic system, because I not depend on the plugins with the same rules. In this case, we create our rules. It's more flexible.
Rules,
it's
yes.
more flexible. In small teams, it's very cool. I think so. It's the best solution.
And second one, it maybe will be funny. Okay.
Yeah.
We create documentation for any features, and I try to save time of my team of game designers and UI and UX designers to put in documentation not pictures, links to Figma. And we have bottleneck with huge value of page in Figma in browsers. So 2 gigabytes, 4 gigabytes, it is for small features. Do you have any case to help us to to make it easier and to be more useful? Because the page with 4 gigabytes open it too slow.
It's maybe the first. It's like I have a small question from your side, because we are talking about optimization. Please optimize assets before you add this in Figma. This is first of all. Maybe I could recommend you use a smaller resolution for your base screen. Maybe it's the problem. Maybe you're using a huge safe area screen. And the secondary or 30, I would recommend maybe use a desktop app, but I don't think that will help you a lot, because this is the same browser. So, but my recommendation is adapt assets before adding, because usually that situation that you describe, it's more about Photoshop. It's more about Photoshop when you when you have a feature. It's really it's about 2 or 3 gigabytes, and it's like, oh, it's too much. That's why you can draw. You can use Photoshop to create a unique images, and then adapt them, and put in Figma. As I said, use 9 slicing if it needed for buttons or panels or something like this. And don't forget to check a resolution. don't try to put like example background. Don't use about 2000. If it background will be on the backstage somewhere, use it about, I don't know, 25 or 50%. It will be enough. So I think your problem is in optimization of assets.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I hope I help you. Thank you.
I have idea how organize it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. One more question.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. It was really cool. I have two questions.
Yeah, sure.
So first of all, the plugin for the 9-slice scaling, it was amazing. I did not know. When you use it, it automatically breaks it so you can export them all at once, does it?
So you have, for example, on examples, okay? So you have a button. You just divide it using these plugins like in 9 slices. And after this, when you, for example, when you press the button, okay, use this plugin, after this you will get the 9 pieces that will like scaling. And it will be 9 components. They have already divided, and you could provide it to Unity developers, and he will change the size of this button. Of course, if there are not a lot of gradients and so on, but in general it works like this. Especially it helps for panels. For example, you have panel without any gradients, or you could, for example, you have a panel with a solid color. Okay, you have in design it's about like this. Using this plugin, you will get something like this, and you will scale it. And if you want to add some gradients, you can just put a small line of this gradient, and the same way they scale it, and it will give you to like create a beautiful design.
Thank you. And another question, I'm a bit conservative regarding safeguarding all the PSDs and AI documents. And when I create the final designs on Figma, so to have like references for the devs or to export, etc., I always lack that, I don't have that full document built on PSD. So I'm afraid that the cloud on Figma will ever like have an issue and we lose all that. Is that something that I should just forget? Do you actually feel that?
It's very interesting question, because it's more about, you know, if you don't about maybe 5 or maybe 7 years ago, we use our a Photoshop PSD file, okay, and right now after this we start put all our PSD in some cloud. In general, it's like Google Cloud, for example, and it's like I'm wondering sometimes what happened if this cloud will broken. It's the same way in Figma, but in Figma, if you have like subscriber, they give you a guarantee, something like this. I'm not sure about 100%, but they have backup. So it's like they have, if something's wrong, I'm sure that have another server in another maybe country or etc. That maybe in China, maybe in another country. So and that will have the copy of your project. Maybe it will take time, maybe a day, 2, but we will find your design.
And one last question, sorry.
Yeah,
have you ever tried downloading the full project, like the full page, to have the assets in a backup, or it's not even used?
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. You can just download like a page.
Yeah.
And it's like, it will be like a file.
Yeah, but do you use it, or it's?
I'm not use it because I work in the cloud. It's helped me because it's very handled, because I no need, for example, sometimes I work from home, yeah, and I'm open Figma and I start working. I close a notebook, I go to the work, I open another notebook and I continue working. It's very handled. So, yeah. Thank you for your question.
Thank you very much, Andrey. Unfortunately, we don't have any time for more questions because we all have to go to Belka Games booth to drink some Aperol. Awful news, right? So thank you, Andrey, very much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you.